So I've got the pleasure of meeting with a client of New Patient Group's, Boyd Whitlock, and I really enjoy working with Boyd and his whole team because they're very forward thinking. He's a very forward thinking doctor. They're a forward thinking practice, always looking at how to innovate and kind of revolutionize the way they offer their business. And now being as important as ever with our coronavirus concerns, is a perfect opportunity to talk about what they're doing from a virtual exam standpoint and the success they've seen even just here in the initial few days in executing that process. So Dr. Whitlock, if you would just kind of fill us in, I mean, last few days you've been texting me each day with some levels of success of getting treatments signed into care. Give us a little backdrop on that, please.
So we were doing what we call virtual appointments before, but that was with the patient. The TC had the patient, and I would remote in and do kind of a Zoom call with the patient. So this now totally changes it where the TC is not in front of the patient. So what we're doing is we're referring them we're using SmileMate, and the patient submits their photos or takes their photos prior to their phone call, and then the TC and I will meet, go over the photos and kind of give a preliminary kind of a treatment plan. And the TC then will set up a call, and they'll have a Zoom call so she can share her screen and point out things on the photos, talk about a little bit of a treatment plan, really kind of a short, yes, you are a candidate kind of a thing. And has kind of mentioned that this is preliminary and we'll follow up with some more records, but yes, this is the plan, we'll move forward. And they've had pretty good success with the numbers we've done with probably not a lot of rehearsal on flipping that screen. What does that look like? So
last few days, how many of you have you seen and how many committed into treatment through your virtual exam?
Well, let's see, we did 3 yesterday and 1 started, and we did 3 today and all 3 of them started.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you mentioned SmileMate. Certainly that's a unique resource for those that have it, and others may consider implementing something like that. If you did not have SmileMate, what would you need to execute a similar virtual exam process?
I think as long as they just text in even or send you right now that the HIPAA rules have changed and lightened up, even they just text you in the series of those photos. And I kind of created a little video that just kind of gave the patient some help on how to get you some decent photos, which I think that's helpful. And we'll send that out to the patients to make sure they give us something that we can actually see and use. But I think they could do that. I've seen some guys that are even say, hey, private, or send me a message on Facebook. And so I think there's lots of venues right now doing that. And you could do it even live when we're doing kind of our existing patients. We're doing those kind of live. Hey, lean into the screen and show me your teeth. This way, though, allows me to kind of not have to be on all those calls. The TC can do those, and I can be doing other things.
Sure.
I'm not live on those. We may try some of those where the 3 of us are on that call for part of it to see if that changes. But so far, it's worked really well. Kind of, they don't really need me, I guess. Maybe that's the case.
So you created I saw your video, really nicely done, a video just kind of showing the appropriate photos that you're wanting to capture, how to get your cheeks and lips out of the way to capture those photos. So what's the communication look like as you're preparing the patient to capture that, but then also preparing the patient to have the exam itself, the virtual exam?
Okay. Well, it's obviously an easier conversation now because it's really the only option. There's not a lot of other options than we were trying to do before. But we do kind of explain that this is the current situation. We'd love to go ahead and see you or give you some ideas of what it is, and we can get started with treatment then soon. And we'll be sending you some information. Now that we have this little video, we'll send them a link to the SmileMate plus this little video that, hey, here's some instructions on how to take your photos. And then with the dashboard, we can see when they have submitted it. TC can see, she'll log in before her visit, say, oh, yeah, Eric's already taken his pictures, great. then she will call me and say, hey, let's look at your photo, look at Eric's photos and kind of give me an idea. Great. And then she goes and logs in, connects through Zoom to the patient. So.
And how has the patient responded to the messaging and the uniqueness of this exam?
I mean, the very first one, I know Amber, she actually called me and goes, wow, they were easy. They just were excited and said, hey, this is easy. This is really great. Let's go.
No, that's neat.
I think she wasn't as confident as they were, so it kind of caught her by surprise.
So what's the next step then? So they've said yes to your treatment plan, or at least the proposal. What do we do next?
Right. I mean, we had, of those 4 starts, I think at least two of them went in and gave her a credit card and put money down.
Oh, great.
So she's scheduled out, or the 2 different TCs, they scheduled out for 3 weeks when we think we might be back to come in for their scans and take x-rays. And I'll do a brief check and say, yep, everything's still on track. That's ready to go. And we'll sign contracts and we'll get our arterial scan and get them going.
Okay. How many people do you have in your practice right now supporting this process?
There's, if you count everybody, the scheduling person answering the phone and getting that person to schedule into that kind of appointment. And then, 2 TCs and me. So
yeah, pretty light skeleton crew. Sure.
Right.
So now that you've seen it work, how do you anticipate promoting it further to patients, prospective patients, rather than ones that were perhaps already on your schedule?
Yeah, good. I think we're going to offer this kind of a platform or re-engage, especially some new patients who no-showed in the past several months, just to reach back out since TCs have some extra time right now. And I think going forward, I think it's a great screening opportunity. I think with you've seen with some of the Invisalign concierge kind of patients that let me just see if I'm a candidate first before I want to commit coming in for a full hour. So I think offering that option is going to be key as we move forward.
It's fantastic. So glad that you're having success with this idea. And again, I appreciate the innovation that you put into everything you do in your practice. So thanks so much for your time.
Well, thank you. Appreciate your help, man.